The alarm blares at 6:30 a.m. Before your eyes are fully open, your feet are already moving toward the kitchen. The familiar scent of coffee beans fills the air. You automatically scoop the grounds. You pour the water. You press the start button on the machine. This morning ritual is something you do every single day without much conscious thought. It feels comforting, a predictable start to an unpredictable day. You enjoy the warmth of the mug in your hands and the rich taste of the first sip. This sequence of actions is so ingrained in your daily life that it feels like an essential part of who you are. It's just what you do. But what happens on the rare day you miss it? Perhaps you wake up late and have to rush out the door, forgoing your beloved brew. You might feel a bit sluggish, maybe a little irritable, and find yourself daydreaming about that first cup. For most, this slight disruption is manageable. The day goes on and you simply look forward to your coffee tomorrow. This is the world of habit, a powerful automated script that our brains run to save energy and create structure. It's a shortcut that helps us navigate our complex lives with greater ease and efficiency. Now let's imagine a different scenario. The thought of missing that coffee sends a wave of genuine panic through you. Without it, you develop a throbbing headache, an overwhelming fatigue that makes it impossible to focus, and a deep, gnawing irritability that strains your interactions with colleagues and family. You find yourself unable to function, your entire day revolving around the desperate need to get that caffeine into your system. So, what exactly is a habit? A habit is a learned behavior that becomes automatic through repetition. Think of it as a mental shortcut. Our brains are always looking to save effort. When you perform an action over and over again, your brain creates a strong neural pathway. This is called chunking. Actions become an automatic routine. You no longer have to think, you just do it. Habits can be good, bad, neutral, all about efficiency and automation. Addiction is far more complex and dangerous. It's a chronic relapsing disorder defined by compulsive engagement despite harm. The key difference is compulsion and loss of control. With a habit, you're in the driver's seat. Addiction puts you in the passenger seat. Addiction rewires the brain's reward system, dopamine. The brain depends on the substance to feel normal. That creates overwhelming craving that overrides judgment and willpower. Let's break it down. Show habit loop diagram beside complex brain reward pathway. A habit, cue routine reward. Cue example, finishing dinner. Routine example, grab a cookie. Reward example, sweet taste and a small burst of satisfaction. You can choose to ignore the cue or change the routine. Choose fruit instead. It's hard at first, but it's within your control. Your life won't derail without the cookie. The choice is yours. Addiction removes that element of choice. A hijacked reward system creates cravings like hunger, like thirst. Resisting leads to withdrawal, physical, nausea, sweating, tremors. Psychological, anxiety, depression, intense irritability. People keep using even when it costs them, their job, their relationships, their health, their savings. It's not weak willpower, it's a brain disease that impairs decision-making and impulse control. To truly understand the distinction, place habits and addictions side by side, compare their defining features. They both involve repeated behaviors, underlying mechanisms, level of control impact on your life. One is a feature of an efficient brain, while the other is a sign of a brain that has been pathologically altered. Seeing these differences clearly can empower you. Recognize a simple routine versus a deeper problem requiring intervention and professional support. Let's examine these differences more closely. The core distinction revolves around choice and consequences. With a habit, you are the one in control. You can consciously decide to stop. A habit usually won't cause severe distress or dysfunction. An addiction, however, is defined by a loss of control. The compulsion overrides your ability to choose freely. Habits don't usually lead to major negative consequences, whereas addiction continues despite causing significant harm to your health, finances, relationships. Habits form through a simple neurological loop that consists of three parts: cue, routine, reward. This is often called the habit loop. The cue is a trigger that tells your brain to go into automatic mode: time of day, a specific location, an emotional state, the presence of certain people. The routine is the behavior itself: physical, mental, emotional. Finally, the reward helps your brain decide if the loop is worth remembering. The reward creates a craving for the routine when the cue appears again. Addiction, however, follows a more sinister path. It begins when a substance or behavior floods the brain's pleasure centers with dopamine. This dopamine rush is far more potent than natural rewards like food or social interaction. The brain registers this intense pleasure and begins to prioritize it above all else. It learns the substance or behavior is incredibly important for survival, even when it is not. Over time, the brain adapts to constant overstimulation, neuroadaptation. It reduces its natural dopamine production. It decreases the number of dopamine receptors. Knowing the difference between a habit and an addiction is not just a matter of semantics. It is critically important for your health, your relationships, your overall quality of life. Mislabeling an addiction as just a bad habit can lead to devastating consequences. It can cause individuals and their families to underestimate the severity of the problem, delaying the search for appropriate help. When you tell someone with an addiction to just use more willpower, it's like telling someone with a broken leg to just walk it off. It misunderstands the fundamental nature of the condition and can lead to feelings of shame, guilt, failure for the person struggling. The impact on one's life is vastly different. A bad habit, like procrastinating on chores, might lead to a messy house or a feeling of being behind. It's an inconvenience, but it rarely dismantles a person's life. An addiction, however, has a destructive ripple effect. A gambling addiction can lead to financial ruin, bankruptcy. An alcohol addiction can lead to liver disease, car accidents. One requires self-discipline and strategy. The other requires compassion, treatment, and support. To change a habit, you can focus on identifying the cue, routine, reward. You can then consciously design a new routine that provides a similar reward. For instance, if you snack out of boredom, you can try going for a short walk or calling a friend when you feel bored instead. This requires awareness, planning, and consistent effort. But it is a battle fought on the field of self-regulation. Many people successfully change habits on their own using these strategies. It is a process of retraining the automated part of your brain. Addiction, however, is a brain disease and often requires medical and psychological intervention. The brain's chemistry has been altered, and willpower alone is rarely enough to overcome the intense cravings. Withdrawal symptoms. Treatment often involves a multifaceted approach, which may include detoxification under medical supervision, therapy to address underlying psychological issues, support groups to build a community of recovery, medication to help rebalance brain chemistry. Recognizing that an addiction is a medical issue, not a moral one, is the first step toward seeking comprehensive support. It opens the door to compassion instead of judgment. The good news is that both habits and addictions can be addressed. In our modern, digitally connected world, help is more accessible than ever before. If you or someone you know is struggling, you don't have to face it alone. Online rehab and virtual support programs offer a confidential, flexible, and effective way to get help from the comfort of your own home. Taking that first step to learn more can be life-changing. Subscribe to Online Rehab for more resources and support on your journey toward a healthier, more fulfilling future.